Part 1. The Detroit Lions signed former Jets tight end Kenny Yeboah. In an unexpected but intriguing move, the Detroit Lions have made a free agent signing, adding former New York Jets tight end Kenny Yeboah to their roster on a one-year deal. While this news may have flown under the radar for some, it's a significant development for the Lions as they continue to address key needs for the 2025 NFL season. Yeboah, who entered the league as an undrafted free agent in 2021, brings an interesting skill set to a team looking to improve its offense, particularly in the run-blocking department. The need for tight end depth. The Lions' tight end situation heading into the new season was one of uncertainty. While they made strides in other areas, their tight end depth remained a weak point, especially when they opted not to bring back veterans Shane Zylstra or James Mitchell. Currently, the team's tight end depth chart only includes Sam Laporta and Brock Wright, both of whom have shown flashes of potential but also have significant areas for improvement. Laporta, a promising young talent, has demonstrated good receiving ability, but his run blocking needs work. Similarly, Wright, while reliable as a receiving option at times, also struggles with consistency in blocking. This gap in the Lions roster was clear, and signing Yeboah was a calculated move to address that need. Yeboah, at 6 feet 4 inches and 245 pounds, offers a combination of size and athleticism that can help the Lions in both the passing and blocking game. However, it's his ability as a run blocker that is especially important for Detroit, as the team looks to create a more balanced attack. The dream that led to the signing. What makes this signing even more unique is the story behind it, which began with a rather bizarre premonition. According to a report by Mike Payton of A to Z Sports, the signing was a result of a dream experienced by a local beat writer. Payton, who covers the Lions closely, explained that earlier in the week, he had an inexplicable vision about Yeboah's signing with the Lions. This premonition, combined with the fact that Payton had started saying, "Yeah, boy," to himself after seeing a notification about a player whose name resembled Yeboah's, led to a rather uncanny sequence of events. Later that night, Payton dreamt that the Lions signed Yeboah, and just days later, the dream came true. While the story is admittedly quirky and not entirely grounded in traditional football analysis, it does add an element of mystique to the timing of the signing. In a world where the unpredictable happens every day, it seems fitting that a seemingly odd premonition could have coincided with the Lions' decision to bring in the former Jets tight end. Yeboah's role with the Lions. For Kenny Yeboah, the road to Detroit has been anything but conventional. After going undrafted in 2021, Yeboah landed with the New York Jets, where he's played a limited role over the past 2 seasons. Known primarily as a pass blocker, Yeboah's value in the NFL has been somewhat understated. While he has shown decent ability as a pass catcher in limited opportunities, it's his blocking skills, particularly as a run blocker, that have drawn the most attention. For the Lions, this is a crucial area of need. Laporta and Wright are capable of contributing in the passing game, but neither of them has consistently impressed as a run blocker, which is vital for a team that looks to establish a strong ground game. The Lions' offensive philosophy has been leaning toward a more balanced attack, especially under the leadership of offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Bringing in a player like Yeboah, who has experience blocking in both the running and passing games, will only help improve the team's ability to execute this strategy. Additionally, Yeboah's presence in the locker room and the versatility he offers should make him a strong contender for a significant role come training camp. The Lions may still look to the draft to find further depth at the tight end position, but for now, Yeboah's one-year deal adds immediate depth and competition to the tight end room. The future of Detroit's tight end room. While the signing of Yeboah is a solid move, the Lions still have plenty of work to do at the tight end position. Although Laporta and Wright offer promise, neither is fully developed, and Yeboah will need to prove himself during training camp to secure a consistent role. The Lions' decision-makers will be keeping a close eye on the competition, as Yeboah's ability to contribute as a run blocker could give him the edge over the others in the system that emphasizes balance and versatility. If Yeboah can prove that he is more than just a blocking specialist and can contribute as a reliable receiving option in the passing game, he may find a long-term home in Detroit. However, if he struggles with consistency, the team could look to make further moves either through the draft or additional free agent signings to bolster the position. What's next for the Lions? With Yeboah added to the fold, the Lions are certainly in a stronger position heading into the 2025 season. However, they aren't done yet. The tight end position remains one of the key areas the Lions need to address to make a serious push for playoff contention. While Yeboah may provide the depth they need, Detroit's front office will likely continue exploring options to upgrade the position even further. The Lions could turn the draft to find a top-tier tight end prospect who can develop into a true weapon in both the passing and blocking games. Given the strength of the 2025 NFL draft class at tight end, there will be several options for Detroit to choose from, and they could find a young, dynamic player who can contribute immediately. In addition to their tight end search, the Lions must also address other areas of need, including bolstering their defensive line and adding depth to their receiving core. The team has shown promise in recent seasons, and with the right additions, they can make a serious push for a deeper playoff run in 2025. Ultimately, while the Kenny Yeboah signing may seem like a minor move on the surface, it could prove to be an important piece of the puzzle for the Detroit Lions. As the offseason progresses, the team will continue to make moves, both big and small, to solidify their roster and put themselves in a better position to compete for the NFC North title. Stay tuned for more updates on the Lions' offseason plans as they continue to make strides toward becoming a playoff contender. Part 2. Yeboah's impact on the Lions' tight end group and offensive strategy. The addition of Kenny Yeboah to the Detroit Lions is more than just a depth move. It has significant implications for the team's offensive strategy moving into the 2025 NFL season. To understand the potential impact of Yeboah's signing, it's essential to take a closer look at how the Lions have approached their offensive system and how Yeboah could fit into that framework. The tight end position in Detroit's offensive scheme. Under offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, the Detroit Lions have focused on creating a diverse and balanced offensive scheme. The team has excelled in the passing game, with quarterback Jared Goff finding success through the air, particularly with wide receivers like Amon-Ra St. Brown and rookie breakout candidates. However, one of the key pieces that have been missing in recent years is a reliable and versatile tight end who can contribute both as a blocker and a receiver. Part 2. Yeboah's impact on the Lions' tight end group and offensive strategy. The addition of Kenny Yeboah to the Detroit Lions is more than just a depth move. It has significant implications for the team's offensive strategy moving into the 2025 NFL season. To understand the potential impact of Yeboah's signing, it's essential to take a closer look at how the Lions have approached their offensive system and how Yeboah could fit into that framework. The tight end position in Detroit's offensive scheme. Under offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, the Detroit Lions have focused on creating a diverse and balanced offensive scheme. The team has excelled in the passing game, with quarterback Jared Goff finding success through the air, particularly with wide receivers like Amon-Ra St. Brown and rookie breakout candidates. However, one of the key pieces that have been missing in recent years is a reliable and versatile tight end who can contribute both as a blocker and a receiver. The tight end position has been an area of struggle for the Lions for several seasons, with inconsistent production and a lack of established playmakers at the position. While Laporta and Wright have had their moments, neither has been able to establish themselves as a true all-around threat in the passing and blocking game. This is where Yeboah could make an immediate impact. Kenny Yeboah, a blocker with upside. Yeboah's primary skill set revolves around his ability to block effectively in the run game, which is exactly what the Lions need. While Laporta and Wright have shown potential as receiving options, their blocking prowess leaves much to be desired. Yeboah has the size and strength to contribute as a road-grading blocker in the run game, something that could allow the Lions to utilize a more balanced offensive attack. With an offensive line that includes standout players like Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow, adding a tight end who can complement their blocking would give Detroit an even stronger edge in both short yardage and power running situations. In terms of run blocking, Yeboah is a versatile asset. He isn't necessarily a dominant force like some of the elite tight ends in the league, but he's a capable contributor who can provide solid blocking on the edge. His presence should allow the Lions to execute a more diverse playbook, including heavy personnel sets that focus on power runs and play-action passes. Redefining the tight end role, a dual threat. While blocking is essential, Yeboah also has the potential to be a more prominent factor in the passing game than his previous limited opportunities suggest. The Lions have been seeking a tight end who can not only block, but also offer a reliable receiving option in the middle of the field, especially on intermediate routes and seam routes. This is an area where Yeboah has shown flashes of potential during his time with the Jets, though he has yet to fully tap into his pass-catching upside. In Detroit's offensive scheme, which frequently uses play-action to create mismatches, Yeboah could be used as a safety valve for Jared Goff, giving him a reliable target in the middle of the field. Additionally, Yeboah could be a threat in the red zone, where his size and ability to run routes over the middle could make him a valuable weapon in goal line situations. By utilizing Yeboah in a variety of ways, both as a blocker and a receiver, the Lions could unlock a more dynamic offense that is difficult for defenses to prepare for. The key to maximizing Yeboah's impact will be using him in the right situations, where his versatility can be fully utilized without overloading him with responsibilities that may be beyond his skill set at this stage in his career. The Lions' tight end room, building competition and depth. One of the main goals of the Lions in bringing in Yeboah is to create a competitive environment in the tight end room. The team is in a position where they need to find consistency at the position, and this move signals that the Lions are not satisfied with their current options. By adding a player like Yeboah, Detroit is encouraging Laporta, and any potential draft picks to step up their game. Competition in the tight end room will push each player to improve, whether that be in the weight room, on the practice field, or in terms of their understanding of the playbook. The battle for the starting job could become one of the most intriguing storylines of the offseason for the Lions, as they look to determine who will emerge as the go-to option in both the running and passing game. Laporta, as a rookie, has the most potential to be the future of the tight end position for Detroit, but he will need to improve his blocking to earn that role. Wright, on the other hand, is a more well-rounded player but lacks the same upside as Laporta. Yeboah could be seen as a mentor to these younger players, showing them how to become more complete tight ends. This healthy competition could ultimately result in the Lions finding the perfect combination of blockers and receivers in their tight end room, giving them the ability to mix and match based on their weekly game plans and the opponents they are facing. Yeboah's experience and leadership. Though Yeboah is still relatively young and has only been in the league for a few years, his experience with the Jets could prove invaluable. The Jets' offense over the last few seasons hasn't been as potent as some of the top teams in the league, but Yeboah has had the opportunity to work under offensive coordinators who value versatility in tight ends. This experience could give him a more nuanced understanding of how to thrive in a variety of offensive systems, and his adaptability could be key in Detroit. In addition to his on-field contributions, Yeboah's presence in the locker room could be a positive influence. The Lions have a relatively young roster, and adding a player who can provide leadership and veteran insight to a room full of developing talent could help accelerate their growth. What's next for the Lions? While the Yeboah signing adds valuable depth and competition to the tight end position, the Lions' offseason plans likely don't stop here. With the 2025 NFL Draft just around the corner, the Lions may look to add more talent at the tight end position. The draft offers some exciting prospects at the position, including players who could immediately make an impact in both the passing and blocking games. It's also possible that the Lions will make additional free agent signings to further strengthen their roster, especially as they continue to build a team capable of challenging for the NFC North title. Detroit's management has made it clear that they're committed to improving their offensive and defensive lines, and they will likely make moves to address these areas in the coming months. As the team moves forward, it's clear that the Lions are focused on building a well-rounded offense that can compete with the league's best. Kenny Yeboah's signing is just one piece of the puzzle, but is an important one that could have a lasting impact on the success of the team in 2025 and beyond. ### Part 3, the dream and what it represents for the Detroit Lions' future. As unusual and unpredictable as it may sound, the news of Kenny Yeboah's signing with the Detroit Lions took on an almost mystical quality thanks to an unexpected twist. A premonition dream. The dream, as shared by the writer of the article, was more than just an odd coincidence. It added a layer of intrigue to the signing and raised questions about the intersection of passion, fate, and analysis in the world of sports reporting. While dreams and premonitions may not typically factor into NFL decision-making, they can serve as a metaphor for the deep connection fans and writers have with their teams, especially when excitement of free agency and the upcoming draft fills the air. In a world where the NFL offseason is filled with predictions, rumors, and analysis, it's refreshing to see a moment where the purely emotional side of fandom intersects with the rational analysis that drives team-building decisions. While the dream may not have any tangible impact on Yeboah's career or the Lions' trajectory, it speaks to the passion and excitement that fans and writers alike feel for their teams, especially one like Detroit, which is in the midst of a major rebuild. This connection is one of the driving forces behind the energy in Detroit right now. After years of being stuck in mediocrity, the Lions are showing clear signs of improvement under head coach Dan Campbell and general manager Brad Holmes. Their decision to make bold moves in free agency and explore all avenues to improve their roster is a direct reflection of the team's growing ambition and commitment to building a sustainable winner. Yeboah's signing fits into that vision. Hashtag a bright future ahead. What's next for the Detroit Lions? Looking ahead, the Detroit Lions offseason will be critical in determining whether the team can take the next step forward and become a legitimate contender in the NFC. With the NFC North still very much up for grabs, the Lions have the opportunity to position themselves as a force to be reckoned with, not just for the 2025 season, but for the years to come. Yeboah's addition is just one move among many that can make a difference. While the tight end position remains a work in progress, other areas of the team, particularly on defense and the offensive line, will require attention. Detroit has the cap space and draft picks to address these needs, and with a young, talented roster already in place, the potential for growth is enormous. Hashtag the role of the 2025 NFL Draft. The 2025 NFL Draft presents an opportunity for the Lions to fill gaps and make moves that could have a direct impact on the team's success. While the tight end position is one area of need, there are other spots on the roster that will be a priority, particularly in the secondary and along the defensive line. The Lions will likely be targeting a player who can contribute immediately, especially on defense, where the team could use an upgrade in both pass rush and coverage. If the Lions are able to continue building on the momentum created by their free agent acquisitions and their draft selections, they could emerge as one of the more well-rounded teams in the league. The balance between offense and defense will be key, and finding complementary pieces to work with the existing roster will be critical to their success. Hashtag the Lion competitive culture and leadership. As the Lions prepare for the season ahead, it's clear that the culture within the organization is changing. There's a sense of optimism and competitiveness that wasn't present in previous years. Coach Dan Campbell, known for his fiery speeches and motivational leadership, has set the tone for what the team's identity should be moving forward. The Lions are no longer viewed as a bottom-tier team in the NFC. They're a team on the rise, one that is built on grit, hard work, and a hunger for success. In this environment, Yeboah's signing may not just be about improving the roster on paper. It could also be about reinforcing the mindset of a team that is ready to push past the struggles of the past and focus on the future. Yeboah's experience in the NFL, his work ethic, and his leadership qualities could be vital in helping this young team take the next step. His time in New York may not have been highlighted by explosive performances, but he's had a front-row seat to the development of the NFL's evolving tight end landscape, and his knowledge could prove invaluable to a team trying to make its mark. Hashtag final thoughts. A glimpse of hope for Detroit fans. For Detroit Lions fans, the arrival of Kenny Yeboah is more than just a transaction. It's a symbol of the team's determination to improve and the possibility that, after years of frustration, the team could finally be on the verge of something special. The signing, paired with the premonition dream of a local writer, adds a touch of serendipity to the off-season narrative, serving as a reminder of how unpredictable and thrilling the world of sports can be. As the Lions continue to build their roster and prepare for the 2025 season, there's a renewed sense of hope in Detroit. With a solid foundation in place, the team is poised to take the next step toward relevance and success in the NFC. The dream may not have predicted a Super Bowl victory, but it did capture the essence of what it means to be a fan, hopeful, excited, and ready for whatever comes next. And for Lions fans, that's a feeling they haven't had in a long time. With the 2025 NFL season on the horizon, all eyes will be on Detroit. Can Kenny Yeboah and the rest of the roster take the Lions to new heights, or will they once again fall short? Only time will tell, but for now, the dream of a successful season is very much alive.